It's holiday time, a time for sending and receiving good wishes for the year ahead. I'd like to share with you one such message which I received, a felicitation that was full of innocence, but also full of depth about the national condition. It reads, in translation, "After a year full of incident and major events, we wish you, as we wish all of us, a year of tranquility, a year of peaceful, regular, everyday things, the freedom for every one of us to live our lives as we wish, in peace and tranquility." Amen, you almost feel like saying. The message reflects a widely felt sentiment among ordinary Israelis, battered as they have been by a year of turmoil and then by a war which has left most people uncertain, unsettled, and not only about the national condition, but also about their own future and that of their children, and over their desire to get on as best they can with the everyday business of living. But if it is, as I maintain, such a widely felt sentiment that Israelis want simply to get on and do their own thing, why not simply, as the sports good ads would have it, just do it? I'll tell you why. In Israel, more than in most nations, national and personal endeavour, national and personal quest are not that easily set apart. And in respect of national endeavour, national quest, Israeli national energies are otherwise preoccupied as they have been ever since the creation of the state, with existential matters, with very survival, you could even say. And above all, for the past 39 and a bit years, that has meant being preoccupied above all with the issue of Israel's borders, with the relations with Palestinian neighbours, with the ongoing entanglement with the Palestinians, with the seemingly irresolvable issue of what to do with the occupation of the Palestinians. That preoccupation, thus far fruitless in terms of a solution, does not sit very well with the restless search for normalcy, with the business, as that New York card would have it, of enabling people to get on living a regular life as each and every individual chooses to do. The real issue is leadership, so let's consider it for a while. Some 3 years ago, the current Israeli Prime Minister, Ehud Olmert, then a junior minister in Ariel Sharon's government, enunciated, brilliantly in my view, the single most telling thought about the direction of Israeli society that has been made during the past 40 years. The time has come, said Ehud Olmert, for Israelis to do something they've shied away from doing for almost 4 decades, to tackle a question which they've shunted aside since 1967, to address the issue and to decide, he said, exactly what Israel we Israelis want, how big it should be, which territory it should embrace, and along which borders Israel should stand. Only then, he determined further, can we get on with the business of deciding, of allowing ourselves to be what Israel is. And he added pointedly, it's for us to decide, not others, for us to make up our minds, not wait for others to decide, but to determine our fate for ourselves. It was a daring, path-blazing, and deliberately non-political, in the narrow sense of the word, declaration. Olmert had in fact preempted Ariel Sharon, who went on to translate the concept into a political security action, the withdrawal from Gaza. Then, after Sharon slid sadly from the political scene, Olmert took it further by promising that determination to put Israel's own purpose to the centre of his new government, he would continue with another unilateral withdrawal, this time in the West Bank. It was the issue on which he was voted into power just 6 months ago. It was the commitment which lifted him to where he is today. Now it seems inconceivable that he can simply turn his back on his own big idea, say it's no longer relevant, treat it as if it's no longer relevant, unless, of course, he chooses to justify his own rejection of his own big idea. But he hasn't done that. All he's done is to have slid into the unenviable position of a national leader without a clear agenda, without a clear policy, without purpose even. That's even more important now with the sudden revival of international peacemaking efforts for the Middle East. After years of stagnation, after months of out-and-out confrontation, all of a sudden the quest is on for a new Middle East peace order. Like hunters rallying to tally-ho, peace hounds everywhere are flocking to the promise of a new peace agenda. The scent in their nostrils is the old linkage between resolution of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and opening the way to a new Middle East order. The worn-out adage that Arab-Israeli peace is the key to healing all of the world's ills. Duly, President Bush dispatched Condoleezza Rice to the area to look for a way to rekindle the fires of a new initiative. But despite what may be the best of intentions, despite lofty declarations, even the most ardent peacemaking enthusiast is forced to concede that the quest for a fresh peace agenda seems doomed to fail. Yet, as the world fruitlessly seeks for a solution, all that we see the Israeli government coming up with is a feeble promise to go along with things, to make as if, to pretend even, that there really might be a new peace option. Whereas what is required is leadership boldness, bold decisions. In the absence of a real peace alternative, Ehud Olmert ought perhaps to be putting on the table once more the plan which won him election, the issue indeed over which he had gone to war, the legitimacy of Israel's borders, to settle on a direction and to go for it. Now, in truth, the Prime Minister might find that in contrast to the massive support which he had for the idea when he projected it, in their present uncertain mood, a majority of Israelis might very well reject the idea. That, however, does not free Olmert from the obligation of trying. He is not just honour-bound to do so, he is politically bound. You could even say he is existentially bound to strike out again with a bold demand of Israelis that they face up to the decision he had put before them, to make the hard choice for themselves as to what is best for themselves, and to try to go down that course. Otherwise, if he does not, there is every chance that he will simply slide feebly into political oblivion, and that the people of Israel, instead of confronting the challenge, will slide deeper into a morass of uncertainty, where they shall find neither peace, nor tranquility, nor national purpose. Only by courageously facing up to themselves and what they want of themselves will Israelis again begin to feel reassured, to feel secure, to know that their future is indeed assured. The energy of Israelis waiting to do their own thing, to embark on a direction which restores collective and individual well-being, national wholesomeness, cries out for true leadership. Will it be there to serve the national purpose?